We're gonna work with Blue today. Y'all can still hear me okay in my earpiece? Okay, perfect. Let me grab a couple treats. I love working with treats. Carla and I were talking last week about the treats. We tend to use about 5 treats a day, and sometimes more or less, but generally speaking, once when we catch a horse, once when we put the horse away, and then a few in the middle when they do something really, really nice. Come on, Blue. When they really connect with us, and we can increase that bond. Come on, let's go. So what Blue's up to, Blue's rideable now and pretty good in a green zone. Green zone means we can walk and trot and do some things on a sunny day in a round pen. Yellow zone would be somewhere new, somewhere a little bit more exciting. And a red zone would be something very exciting that I'm quite certain he could not do very well. So let's see here. I want to put my longer line on. What we're going to do today with Blue is prepare him for canter. Rachel's been working with him this week while I've been traveling on the ground, and I'm going to introduce the idea of cantering under saddle. First we're going to work on the ground a little bit just to make sure he remembers, and then we're going to do a little bit under saddle. So you can stay right there, and all I'm going to do is encourage him to walk around this clock. And what I really love about the work Rachel's done is he needs to go into the circle and then come out of it by himself. Like, I haven't asked him to trot yet, and he's a little bit hotter. He sees my flag. I want him to come down and walk. Because when I canter, I need him to relax immediately after. What horses anticipate happening is what they generally do. The bad behavior is really just an anticipation of what comes next. So if he canters and then gets super excited, it's because he's been trained to canter and then get super excited. But if we train him to canter and then walk, then his anticipation brain will kick in and he'll think, okay, what do I do after I canter? Oh, I remember, I walk. So we're guiding him, and it'd be nice if he can learn to walk on his own. It's like it's his idea instead of ours. So that's essentially what we're doing. I'm asking him to trot and then walk. And then pretty soon we're gonna build him up into the canter and then walk. Not cantering, not going and going and going. We're not building endurance. We're just asking him to step into that transition and then step out of it. Okay, let's do another one. Here we go. I don't know if you'll be able to catch me here. You want to try? Okay, good. If you guys have questions along the way, feel free to ask. But I love to see him walk like this. This is beautiful. And then when I ask him into the trot, it's light, he's responsive. And then he should come back down on his own. And since I'm not raising my hand and telling him to hurry up, he's starting to sense that there's no need to hurry. So he's anticipating the walk and he offers it. Beautiful. One little treat for you. Okay, next we're going to encourage the canter. When I'm riding, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to encourage it. If I get it, great. If I don't, no problem. Here we go. I'm going to go to the left here. We walk out. We pick up a little trot. And when he's got this nice rhythmic trot, we're just going to encourage a step of canter. Beautiful. I want him to come back down, all the way down into a walk. That would be ideal. See, I'm not even pulling on the rope. That's his decision to come down. I love, love, love that. He offered about 2 steps of canter. That's all I need. I don't need 10 or 20. I definitely don't want to play the don't break gait game. That's going to be problematic for him and his energy level. You can play that game with a horse that's lazy. This guy is anything but lazy. We're going to do the other side, and then we're going to hop on and start building that up in the same manner. So off we go into the walk. He should walk before he canters. I'll pick up a little trot. This way he's got a little more tension, his ears go back. So I'm gonna wait until those ears kind of soften before I demand any more from him. Just let him kind of play with his own internal reactions. And that's not always, there we go. He kind of just had a brief moment where he decided to soften his expression. It's not always the best solution to wait. Sometimes you can discourage bad behavior or ugly behavior. You can kind of just say, look, don't do the ears back thing. And sometimes you can just wait. It's more like a judgment call, 50-50 judgment call. Okay, we're gonna try for our canter departure. Just a little encouragement to faster speed. He does not. Like that, and then I'm gonna let him slow down. And this is exactly what, good boy. This is exactly what I'm gonna do riding. We didn't get the canter that way. We will. We'll just keep working at it. But I'm not going to make it happen and then hope and pray that it works. I'm just going to build up towards the canter and then bring him back down. No point rushing it. Now on the ground you can kind of rush it and make it happen, but I don't want to do that riding because almost all the explosive behaviors come in right after the first step of canter. So we're going to train him to build up and come down and build up and come down. One more up on this side, this right side. There's definitely more tension here on this right side. Left-handed, right-handed horses, he tends to be a little bit more left-handed. Are you a left-handed horse, Blue? I like it. He's starting to explore a little bit of relaxation on his own. Gonna try for a step into the canter. Let him come down to a slower speed. Try for another step. Let him explore that canter and then come down all on his own. Yeah, look at you coming down on your own. Okay, I'm gonna give him a little reward for that. Proud of you. You guys still hear me okay? Someone give me, okay, perfect. I can't see you, Rachel's got the camera and I've got the audio. Trying to make sure we get clearer audio with a little bit of wind. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of riding. I'm gonna actually ride with the bit today. I do normally ride with a halter, but he is going to be a performance horse of some kind. The owner of this horse really wants actually to jump, and she's going to college here in Montana, and she wants a horse she can take into the college program. And so we're just going to prepare him for the English riding. and the jumping. And so the bridle is going to be a must, unfortunately for him, but it's a nice bridle. It's nothing wrong with a bridle. It's just another thing. And because I'm a little bit of a minimalist, I like to have less in their mouth or less on their body. When I travel, I'm fortunate enough to have these amazing people that look after these guys, and they do a lot of the hard work, the foundation work for these horses. They do all this, like standing at the mounting block and not going anywhere. All of that work translates to this fantastic horse that we can work with when we start doing all the riding stuff. More on the, there we go. Okay, off we go into the sunset. We need the same exact results. We need him to respond in the same ways energetically. Now naturally we have to have some basic control maneuvers. He needs to yield. If I say back, he needs to back. If I move his shoulder, he needs to move his shoulder. If I want him to swing his hindquarters, he needs to move his hindquarters. Those mechanisms need to be in place just for my safety. But once they're in there, we can start to work on that circle and help him energetically. The bridle is not new to him. It's the first time I've ridden in the bridle with him, so it has a different sensation, but he's definitely ridden in it before. He needs to follow my leg that way, back up. He needs to follow my leg this way, and then back up. The English saddle is new to him. It'd be more comfortable for him. But sometimes it surprises the horse, the English saddle. They're like, whoa, that's a different feeling. Okay, you ready for this, Blue? Yeah, yeah, giddy up. No, I'm kidding. Here we go. Off we go in a walk. And I'm gonna stay anchored to Rachel and the mounting block here in the same manner. So there's not like a different game. I'm just in a different position. I was on the ground and I am on his back, but energetically, I want the exact same responses. I want him to carry me into the canter. And this will be a first for him, with me. I know he's cantered with another rider, but I also know for sure that was what we'd call a scared canter. Very, very bracy, very tight. And we're gonna start developing his canter so it's not all of that. So we've got the walk. Let's make sure we can stop. We got brakes. A little heavy on the brakes. I want those a little bit lighter. So we'll do a couple of walk and back up transitions just to make sure. Lots of grooming and rubbing after every transition. He's super sensitive, which is lovely, but problematic when they're too sensitive. So let's check those brakes again. Okay, that's getting better. Good boy. Good job waiting for me. Here we go again. He's got a nice walk, he's got a nice rhythm. I'm gonna boost him up into a trot and then back down. We're gonna explore if he can find the walk all by himself, just like on the ground. And if he can't, then I'm gonna help him because I want brakes, I need control. But energetically, I'm hoping to play the same game for him. up and down the transition mountain. We're gonna boost up into a trot again. And then just kind of give him the reins and let him find his way back down, and he's great. So I'm gonna actually turn to the middle. Try not to get right in the sunlight for you. Turn to the middle, just like I did on the ground, and let him rest for a minute. Beautiful work. He's figuring out this exact same sequence of events. We go into the higher speed, we come out of the higher speed, and we rest. This foundation is so important. We have to start thinking past walk, trot, canter and start thinking about his emotional regulation, his stability mentally. And that's the foundation work. So he needs to be able to transition and come back quietly. Now, some trainers will just work and drill the transitions regardless of the emotion. And then horses do eventually kind of come around. This method is more passive and quiet. It's something most riders can do, even novice riders. It's just a little bit of work into the next speed. Loosen up, let him come down, and feel really good about that. We might even turn, face the middle, and remind him that's it. That's all we're really doing. We're gonna add the canter in there, but ultimately, that's really all we're doing. It's just energetic regulation, emotional regulation. Coming down around that corner at the end and facing you is also good for him because he gets to be flexible and rib cages are bending left and right and he's breathing. And I get these little micro steps backing up and back out onto the circle. I don't just go round and round in a mindless circle. Okay, we're gonna build into the trot, and just for safety, I'm gonna put the brakes on really hard. That will prepare him for the yellow zones. You can't ride in a green zone, always quiet and soft, hoping that one day he'll be so good you can ride him in a yellow and red zone. You have to test those emergency mechanics every once in a while. And if you're happy with them, then you can kind of go back to your passive quiet mode. Here we go. One more emergency test. Even though he feels good and he feels quiet, I'm gonna put those brakes on. Just make sure he's actually there with me. In case when he does take that canter step, if we get that far today, I can put those emergency brakes on and I'm gonna survive. Okay, let's go the other way. I like changing directions. Gives me an opportunity to send more signals. The more signals I send, the more responsive he becomes to my signals. If I just go round and round and round the same direction, it's kind of hard to communicate because there's just so few signals. Emergency brakes. Good job, Blue. You're doing great. Your foundation is coming up. In a few days, we're going to start riding with the flag. In a few days, we're going to start taking them out into open spaces and going into yellow zones. Today, we're just introducing the canter. Go again. This time, just like the groundwork, we're going to do a slow build up. I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit with my legs, a little kiss or a cluck from my voice, and then bring him back down. It'd be nice if he could come down by himself when I build him up like that. But if I need to bring him back down, I can bring him back down. Okay, Blue. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I want to canter. That'd be great to canter. but not at the expense of losing his emotional regulation. If he tips into that fast canter, or he rushes, or he decides to buck, then I've lost it all. It's like everything I'm working for. So I'd rather build up and bring down, like approach and retreat. Here we go again. I want to show you something you can do, not something some tough cowboy can do. I want him to stay fairly balanced and quiet and relaxed. Looking good, Blue. Okay, let's do a little more. Just kind of dropping his head down a little bit more than I want, so I'm actually going to pick it up. Thanks for the relaxation, but you still have to listen to my hands. Good. Okay, here we go. A little bit faster trot. Back down. Approach and retreat. A little bit faster trot. Good. Back down. For sure, what we know about him right now, and I hope you can see it. I can feel it. And I can see it from here. When I speed him up into the faster trot in preparation for that canter, he lifts his head and he drops his shoulder and he gets fast, but it's tight, it's tense. So I could push through that tension and open up the canter, or pull back from that tension and remind him, just relax. If I don't canter today, I'm happy as a clam. I'm more interested in his emotional regulation approaching the canter than I am actually cantering. So that way a novice can ride him in the future. Anybody could ride him because he's maintaining his own mental clarity around what's actually supposed to happen. This is his hard side. His right side is definitely his hardest side here. But it doesn't matter. I get to just work with whatever he offers. I like that. That's a quiet, relaxed trot with his head more neutral. He wasn't dropping it down. He was listening to my hands. Okay, let's try building that up one more time. Up we go. I'm in a pretty small circle. I can open it up to a bigger circle if I want. Down. But most importantly, what he needs to learn is the ability to come back from energy rather than through it to something even higher. Down. All these little rebalancing acts we do by coming down, slowly building not only his confidence, but my confidence in his control. Go again. It was quite the balancing act on your part there. Okay, we're going to speed up a little bit. We're looking for the idea of the canter, and we're going to come back down and rebalance. Speed up a little bit, looking for the idea of canter, back down and rebalance. Simple, very simple homework. Back down and rebalance. Never making him feel rushed. never making him feel wrong unless he does something really dangerous, helping him understand balance. We speed up a little bit and come back down. Try to help him stay balanced here. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. Come back down. I know. He gets his little brain going and his brakes don't work as good. So I'm actually going to come in, face up, rest. We'll go the other way. Whew. What I hope to show you, and we're not far from finishing up here, and then I'll just join you off the horse. But what I hope to show you is that you aren't racing into the canter and trying to make it about the canter. You're making about his emotional regulation, his ability to bring himself back down, your ability to set the brakes in an emergency, and his balance, that he just thinks his way up and down instead of just blasts through like a prey animal. You're gonna have a much better experience, but more than that, he'll be able to carry any rider in the future because he'll have a quiet, calm, relaxed sense about him in every gait. We go. This is easier side. We'll see how it goes. Nice quiet trot. We're gonna build that trot up a little bit into a faster trot. Back down. He gets really flat and fast. Back up. Hey, that was a good try. Back down. A lot of people don't have the patience for this kind of work. They just want to get right into the canter, but the canter's only one piece of a massive tapestry of events. Balance and quality and control and walk and trot and back up but stand still. Transitions between walk and canter and walk and trot. Canter and walk and canter and halt and back up. There's just a massive library of events that can take place. We don't want to just highlight the canter as the most important activity. But we do need him to develop it. Up we go. Down we go. Beautiful. I'm actually going to turn in. Take a break. You cantered. I hope you saw it on the camera. Can you guys still hear me? Anybody there? Oh, perfect. Perfect. You saw the little baby canter. Now, can he do more? Can I push for more? Probably. Absolutely. He's capable physically of doing more. But he needs to feel these long, long rewards for doing the little things. Reward the slightest try. And then over the course of a day, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, he develops this really beautiful, quiet, peaceful canter that anybody can ride. I'm going to do one more, and then we're done. And then we're going to have to go to work on that right side tomorrow. Good job, good regulation. Now, lazy horse is a different experience. This is not a lazy horse. This horse is very sensitive, very willing, tries really hard. He could go for 2 hours thinking he's on the right track. If you push him, make him run, he won't consciously think back to being relaxed, so we have to help him sometimes. Okay, here we go, Blue. I'm gonna speed up. Down. One more. And down. And in. And breathe. And big reward. Big breath too. I love that. There you have it. His first steps of canter with a rider. I should say his first steps of quality canter with the rider. So I'm gonna hop down, make him feel rewarded for it, and then tomorrow I've got to go to work on his right side and get the same results. So if you want to take your camera and push pause,